Hi, I'm Victor. In this video, I'm going to cover Tyson Foods. This is a very good food company that produces beef, chicken, pork, even plant-based meats and proteins. This company is doing really well, and they just finished their second quarter, their fiscal year, and they've announced their earnings today. It's May 9th, 2022. I wanted to review this company. It's a company that I own shares in and tell you about this company. There's three things I'm looking for in an investment. I want a discount on the stock so that I could see my investment go up and appreciate. I want the company to be performing well and operated by a very good management team. And I want to know that it's the right time to buy the stock. Let me take a look at Tyson Foods and revisit this scorecard at the end of this video. So Tyson Foods is found in your local grocery store under a number of different brands, Tyson being probably one of their biggest ones. You can get chicken, but you can see a variety of different brands that you would find their foods under. You also, if you eat chicken nuggets at McDonald's, you're eating Tyson Foods. They were McDonald's Supplier of the Year. Chicken is a very popular item at McDonald's, and Tyson Foods is one of their key suppliers. If you own Tyson Foods stock for the last 5 years, I think you'd be happy with a 56% return, especially here in 2022, where the stocks are really down overall. Especially if you bought right after the pandemic, this stock really went up a lot. I started buying after the pandemic. There were some concerns that this company was being hit really hard by COVID, and a lot of their employees were, since they had to work very close to one another. So I started buying when there was a lot of fear in the stock, and I was glad I did so. It's been a good performer for me, and it's a very good sector to own. Currently in 2022, high growth stocks are really being punished. But a food company, we need food to survive. So they've done well. And as I'll get into their financials, they really have really benefited from inflation. And I'll get into that in a few minutes. Looking at the 1 year, they've done well, 15% return. Again, we're looking at an S&P that is negative in the 1 year chart. So these guys have clearly exceeded the S&P index, and they paid a dividend while doing so. I believe Tyson Foods is currently discounted by 78% if you look at their stock price, and let me tell you why. This is an intrinsic value calculator that I've put together. It discounts the free cash flows that I expect over the next 20 years, and I really start with the discounted free cash flows that they had for the last fully completed year, and it is a good number because the number is close to the average for the last 5 years. And it's been trending up, but it's for a good reason. The company has been growing. I discount the free cash flows by 7%, which is a good discount rate. This is a solid company with a good balance sheet in a good industry. I'm going to grow years really 2, 3, 4, and 5 by 11%. That's below where they're growing right now, but it's hard to sustain that 20% growth that they've been experiencing. I think it's going to slow down a little bit, but over the next 5 years, this is going to be my growth rate. And then after that, they'll grow about 5%. And that's what the growth rates will be on the free cash flows into the future. If I take those free cash flows and calculate a net present value of those cash flows, I get an intrinsic value of $60 billion for the company, but their market cap is $33.6 billion currently. They've been buying back shares, so they've reduced shares to some extent, and their intrinsic value per share calculates at $165 per share, but their stock price is $92 per share. So it it offers up a 78% discount, which I really like, and we'll be buying more shares as a result. So TSN has been performing really well. Their last full year revenue growth was 10% year over year, which is really nice. Free cash flow was $2.6 billion. And if you look at their free cash flow, it's been growing over the last 4 years by 15%. Their free cash flow yield currently is 8%, which is really good. They pay a dividend of 2%, and their PE is 8.51, which is a good PE these days. They just announced their earnings, and for the second quarter, which just completed, their sales increased 19.7%, and that's for the last 6 months, I should say. That's for Q1, Q2 in their fiscal year. Solid growth rate, and it's primarily due to price increases. Their volume stayed close to the same, but the price for proteins has really gone up. Their free cash flow for the year to date for 6 months is $377 million. They repurchased 6.2 million shares, putting $523 million of capital back in investors' pockets through buying back shares, which is really good to see. And they reduced debt by $1 billion. Outlook for Tyson is that, their products will continue to be in high demand. Proteins are in high demand, especially in the United States. They're growing really well in Europe. They're also growing in Asia. So it's good to see them grow around the globe. They have pricing power right now, and that's going to really enable them to expand their top line and expand their margins. So it's a good place to be for Tyson. I think there's still upside in the stock, and they pay a dividend. So I'm going to continue to buy, especially on dips. The stock's in pre-market, it's up. So not sure I'm going to buy any shares today. I like to buy shares when stock is experiencing a dip. So I'll be looking for those dips to buy more shares of Tyson. So revisiting the scorecard for Tyson, you're definitely getting a discount on the stock. So I'm looking for those dips to buy more shares. The company is very well operated. I listened to their earnings calls, and the team just really knows this industry well, really cares about their people. Their people really care about the company. So really good company to be an owner of. And it is a good time to buy the stock. Good industry, food, good stable industry to be buying into here in 2022. That is outperforming the S&P index by a pretty big margin. So this video is for entertainment purposes only. I don't recommend that you buy Tyson or any other security or stock. I like to share my experience as an investor of Tyson, and I hope you found it interesting. Thanks for watching my video. Really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the content, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I release a new video. Thanks again for watching, and good luck investing in 2022.